Hello and welcome to a video tour. Today I'm going to be talking about how to use the play archives. What you can see here is the standard home page, which has the excerpts of all of the entries. Now there are a couple of other ways of viewing things. One of them, which we'll just look at very quickly, is called the complete timeline. So if we click here, what will happen is you'll see a timeline of everything that's been posted. Perhaps that's more of interest to you, but let's say that you're more interested in looking for things, and the best way to look for things is the play archive. That's assuming that you're looking for a map or mod. If you're just going to search the site, click on the search and you'll find that it searches everything. The play archives only search the maps and mods. Now the play link itself, as it says here, all maps and mods. But if you're only interested in one game, you can filter just down those. So if I were to click on the opposing force, it only shows you opposing force. That's all it shows you. Alright, back to the play. Now, the cool thing about this is that you've got a lot of control over what you see. The first thing I want to explain is the number of entries. Currently, we only display 10. We only display 10 because previously this header was fixable. But because we changed the code to Ajax, we can't get that working properly, so you can't get it fixed to the top. I'm sorry about that, but with the control over how many entries you see, that shouldn't be much of a problem. So you can choose. If you click all, it'll take a few moments to actually load. There it goes, less than a second, and it's loaded all of the entries. Alright, I'm just going to go back to 10 though. So let me talk about the columns very quickly. The first column is the name. This is the name of the map or mod. You can click all of the columns and it will order things. The next one is the reviewed. This is whether you have used a recommendation image or not. That's how the system knows. If you've just written a review previous to the recommendation system being installed, then it doesn't think that you've reviewed it. Now if I jump to Firefox, where I am logged in, you can see that I can order those and show you whether you've reviewed it or not. Now some of these I'm sure I've reviewed, so I'll need to double check on that, and it says that I haven't reviewed Minerva, which is crazy, so I better get around to doing that. So back to the logged out one, and if you need to log in, by the way, you can just log in up here very quickly. This was when the map or mod was posted or updated. Sometimes I do update things, so you'll find that it's a different time or date to the released. You'll see that the released in some cases are very close. So the latest one here was released in 29th of March. This one was released in the 30th of March. Whereas if I click the posted, well, I've done all of these ones since. The number of downloads, the number of recommendations, the average recommendation, what I say. Some people like to see that. They don't always agree with me, but they know that where they disagree with me. So for example, many people think that I give too many personal favourites, so for them they'll consider that to be like a play it. Approximate file size. My play time estimated for the very first time I played it. Don't worry if you can't remember what each of them are, because if you hover over it will tell you how long. The type of game it's for, okay, whether it's a mod or a map. Now let's just go here. It says NC. This means not classified. Okay, this means that I haven't had a chance to classify it. And here you see NYR, which is not yet rated yet. It means that I haven't reviewed it, so that should coincide with my logged out, but of course you can't see mine, you can only see yours. Alright, and then the tags. Now the tags are the most useful thing for filtering things, and if you're not really sure what tags are what, you can just go on here and click on the tags page and you'll see these tags, and they'll have the hover pop-ups which tell you what they're for, all of the games, you know, all of these kind of things down here. So the opposing force, Oktoberfest, alright, classic of the month, so all of those. Now the tags are only used if it will make life easier finding things. So for example, I don't put head crabs as a tag, even if there's 10,000 head crabs in a map or a mod, because nearly everything has head crabs, so that doesn't really help you. But there's not really many antlion guards, or there's not so many, you know, assassins. So those are the types of tags that are used, as well as other types of special features. Alright, So, instant filter. This is the coolest feature here because this allows you to filter on all of the table. So imagine that you're looking for something that has an AR5 and is short because you want to play something that's really cool but you don't want to, spend too long doing it. Okay, so what you can see here now is you've got 46 entries. I can display all of those if I want to, and I can scroll through. All right, and you'll see that we've got here very short. Well, that's because it's still looking for short. We might solve this situation. It's not really a bug, but we might solve this in the future. Now, let me go back to only showing 10. Now, both of these criteria have to be visible. It's not just one or the other, it has to be both. So you can see that I've got 46 entries. So if I just get rid of that, I've now got 257 entries. All right. Now, at the bottom, you'll see that you've got individual column searchable items. So here, if you want to, for example, see everything that was posted in 2014, you'll see that there are 64 entries. You'll notice that this goes orange. It goes orange to remind you that you have this filter on. I promise you, it's very easy to forget that you have a filter if this wasn't orange. Now, if I go up here and I do 2014, what you'll find is 64 entries. Okay, so in this case, it worked out quite well. But if I were to do 2009, 165, 2009, 149, because when it was released and when it's posted is not always the same thing. So again, you can use this to filter things. Now here you can just put the number of the recommendation. You don't even need to put AR5 because they all have AR, and you'll see 256. Oh well, and you'll say, okay, so you've got 4, and you're about to say to me, but Philip, that didn't go orange. It doesn't go orange until you click out of the box, until you click somewhere else. All right. So imagine that you want something with a crossbow, and you want something that was given a really good recommendation, and you want something that was released 2014. All right, there you go. You've got 3 entries. It shows you that there are 3 entries that match that criteria. Now, let's say that you're not so interested in what other people thought, but you do want something that's really long. So you would type in extra. Oh, what a shame. There's nothing. So it can't find anything that's extra long. Long 1, liberation. So it's a very fast way of filtering down the results to see the kind of things that you're interested in. Soon, I promise that we will have the author listed here. The problem is that I've only been adding the author for the last 6 months, and a lot of those won't have entries, as don't many of the tags, because you'll see here that these ones were the ones that were added, like a long time ago, and I wasn't using tags then. So there's a lot of administration work that needs to be done for the site. But for the newer maps and mods, you'll find that everything is completed, as will be the authors. So that's it. So down the bottom in the notes section here are all of the details to get you going. So if this was too fast for you, my apologies. Here you can read about it in your own time. Now, one last point to make. The information from this table comes from a specific database table. If we take the information live from the database, it takes a long time to generate the page, and that's not really what you're interested in. So basically, every day at least, maybe sometimes twice a day, I update that table so that you get quite up-to-date information. You'll see that I did this at 8:08 this morning, or the 4th of April, depending on when you're watching it. And you'll see that the number of downloads here are 2. Now, if I were to go to the home page, click on this, you'll see that this is 5. So there's been 3 downloads since I created the new table. So what I'm trying to tell you is that this information is more or less up to date, but some of the things like downloads, recommendations, those 2 things could be different, as could, I suppose, the average recommendation. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions or any problems using the Play archives, please post a question on this video and I will respond as soon as possible. If you have any suggestions for making it better, please post those as well. And remember, finishing Half-Life is just the beginning. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.